Hey everybody, how's it going? Just had a couple of technical difficulties there, but I think we are all ready now. So what we're going to do is today is our lunch and learn, and it is what 11/24/2020. We are almost through, right? We have come through this pandemic. If you're watching this in a replay, this is coming through 2020, and guys, we want to crush it. We want to leave 2020 in the dust, okay? And how are we going to do that? We're going to get us a financial floor. We're going to get us a financial foundation so we don't have to have any dependency upon anything outside, right? We're going to work on the things inside our own economy. And what I want to do right now, I'm going to show you just a couple of people, well, just one right now that has had tremendous success in applying personal financial strategies to their lives, okay? Hold on one second right now.
Hey, what's going on, family? It is truly Nick Woodard checking in with you. Another amazing day. Hey, real quick, I want to just share my personal testimony on how Myecon, the personal financial success company, has helped change me and my family's life, right? So before Myecon, I was living not even paycheck to paycheck. I was living getting paid Friday to being broke on Monday, right? I had credit cards maxed out. I was in debt up to my neck and was clueless about money. So I was introduced to this opportunity by my personal mentor, because people a financial peace of mind, right? And he shared this information with me, and based off the first strategy when it comes to cash flow management, I was able to legally adjust my W-4 form as well as my wife's, and we income shifted an extra $700 back into our household each and every month, right? And we took the new cash flow and put it towards our debt. And up to today's date, we have snowballed over $50,000 in debt at the government's expense, right? And on top of that, we have actually cash flowed just over $100,000 by applying these strategies. So I encourage each and every one of you to reach out to anyone you hear who is talking about personal financial success, representing Myecon, because we're all about changing lives and we want to welcome you to the financial journey. Have a blessed one. Peace.
Guys, that's that was our own Nick Woodard, right? So what I wanted to show you is that how you can get better with whatever it is you're wanting to do, whatever that end goal that you want to do with personal financial strategies. And our goal today is to show you how to jumpstart that by using Uncle Sam, right? And what Uncle Sam would do is he was telling us, say, if you will learn or if you will become informed, I will give you what you need to start. Okay. And let me show you how you can become your number one asset. So let's jump into our presentation and see what we need to do to become our number one asset. All right, let's start from here. And I hope everybody's having a great day, great night, depends on when you're seeing this. All right, so this is it, right? So let's start at the beginning, because our goal is to say, hey, Mike, how can I jumpstart my business, my idea, my calling? What can I do to help get me funding for this, okay? The first thing I wanted you to do is to tell you my testimony, okay? Because when I first started, and I'm a proud Myecon business owner. When I first started, I was in business and everything. I didn't understand the difference between income and cash flow. And if you don't know, that income is simply the money that you're getting in. You're exchanging your labor for their dollars, right? So at some point in time, you may not be able to or may not want to exchange your labor. So you got to do something for the end goal, right? Or your future lifestyle. The big thing is you got to have assets, okay? But if your current lifestyle, your income that's coming in, if it's not being converted into cash flow, meaning that your income lasts, it's not just coming in and going out, but it's coming in and taking care of expenses. It's coming in. It's actually helping you to grow. It's helping you to basically to not have to worry any longer. What I mean is this: if you have $1 million coming in every year, okay, what's going to happen if you have $2 million worth of expenses every year? When you lose that $1 million worth of income, then you're in the poorhouse just like everyone else. Okay, that is in the poorhouse. But if you're making 40,000 and you're only living on 20,000, now your cash flow can last twice as long. Okay, so you have to do that. You have to find out what is it that is destroying your cash flow or stopping you from creating a good current future lifestyle at the same time. Okay. And this is why America is the number one country. Everybody understands, right? We are the wealthiest country, as they say, right? We're going through some things, but everybody still knows that there is an opportunity to be found here, right? But 69% of Americans have less than $1,000 cash. They can actually put their hands on less than $1,000, and that's a question. You have to see, okay, why is that in the wealthiest country? And also, 68 million of Americans have poor credit. There's damages happened, especially going through the COVID situation that just happened, right? So there's all types of things that may have caused the poor credit, but it is a situation right now. Now, 80% of Americans feel like they're falling behind. How do you feel every day when you wake up? Do you feel like you're going from check to check? Or do you feel more like there's not enough money left at the end of the month? Okay. So these things is a reason behind this. And the reason is a lack of financial education. And that's what we're going to talk about, how to get Uncle Sam in on this. Okay. And of course, the feeling is the wages are stagnant. And the government has no solution for this, because before we were looking to what? Social Security. And we all know, and if you don't know, Social Security is already stating that it may not be there. And if it is there, a quarter of it will be gone. Okay. So they're already stating that fact. And then a lot of people used to be dependent upon pensions. Those things are, few and far in between now. That you don't see a lot of those. But sometimes, even if you're getting a pension, it's only maybe 40% of what you were making. Okay. And so if you haven't had time to build up a future lifestyle with assets, then how are you going to live on the 40%? Okay. So, the government has no solution. The wages are stagnant. And what everybody's looking to do, everybody is looking to do two things, and that is your financial objectives. Yes, your current lifestyle, and that's your future lifestyle. And as we said before, your current lifestyle is paid for by your labor. Every day, you keep yourself healthy, right? So that you can go in and exchange the time. The only thing that we can't get back, you exchange your time for their dollars, for the boss that you're working for, or if you have a business, right? And if it's structured, now you just own another job. So you have to do something to make sure that your current lifestyle is also not just taken care of, but it's also doing fine for your future lifestyle. Okay. And that's got to come from your investments. The majority of the times we're running from check to check, right? We're doing things, cash check in places. Excuse me. Debt is higher than ever before. We're coming through a pandemic, right? So what we have to do is we have to find out what it is that we need to do. Okay. Can I get a jump start? And we're going to talk about that. So, like we said before, Social Security and pensions, they're not working, right? It's not going to be there. We have to depend on what? Your economy, or our economy, what we call Myecon. Okay, because Myecon stands for my economy. I'm able through financial education to make myself the number one asset. Okay, because if you don't, these things are going to just kill your cash flow. These things right here, these 4 challenges, if you're taking notes, be sure to write this down. These 4 challenges are killing your income. Every time you get paid, every time you get a raise, every time you get a little bit ahead, right? This is what is sabotaging you. Inflation, what we call the silent income killer. Why is that? Because inflation, we don't recognize. And inflation, that's just the cost of goods and services going up over time, right? So what happens if the farmer has a bad year? The farmer has to pass that on, those expenses on to the next person. If they have to pass it on to the wholesaler. The wholesaler has to pass it on to the grocer. The grocer passes that expense on to you, the end buyer. Okay. So we have to understand inflation and that we have no control over that. So we have to have financial education so that we can put our money so that it outpaces inflation. Okay. And so that we can outrun this silent income killer. Number 2 is taxes. And now what I want you to understand is in income taxes, right? This is what we're talking about. There's all kinds of taxes out there. We've heard of the ad valorem tax, right? Food tax, death taxes. All we're talking about income tax, something that you can control. And I'm going to show you why. Okay. Income taxes, they're going to take you for your first 30, the first 30%. And that's the first third of your income. And you say, I don't agree with that, Mike. Well, let me show you, right? If you look up the stats, they say, hey, if you work in January, February, March, and April, you're working for Uncle Sam, period. You're working for taxes. Another difference, let me show you. Look at the difference between your gross and your net, right? What's that difference there? That's the taxes that are taken. And then you say, hey, I get that back at the end of the year, though, right? You telling me that you get 30% back at the end of the year? No, that's why this is the biggest bill that you have, and it's majority of the times is unaccounted for. So automatically you're behind the 8 ball simply by not understanding how taxes are crippling you, right? So now when the taxes happen and 1/3 of your income is taken, what do we have to do, right? We go in and we get into debt. Okay, and debt is we feel is needed, all right? Personal debt, because we got to go get the car. We got to replace the 30% that was taken, right? So that's the debt that we go into, and debt comes with interest. That's the penalty. Okay, that penalty that comes with that. You're not borrowing 20,000 and paying back 20,000. You're borrowing 20 and paying back 30 maybe. If you buy a house, $100,000 house with a 30-year payback, then you're going to pay back almost $250,000 for that home. That same $100,000 home turns into you paying $250,000. That's the penalty that we pay. So therefore, that penalty takes the next third of the income. So no wonder why we're going from check to check, right? We can't even get to the last CK, right? So now what do? We have to worry about big business. So now we have the debt, right? So now big business comes with the marketing, right? With the different things that's going on. And it tells us what we need to do and makes our wants feel like needs, okay? Every month there's something. And then what I want to do, I want to get to past this. And I don't want to go through each one, but from the marketing, from the advertising and things like that, it forces us to go out. Just like this month, let's just take this, Thanksgiving, okay? And then we have the Friday where they want you to spend more money. Then there's Saturday, and then I think it's probably something on the Sunday and the Monday, okay? So those are the types of things that have us feeling like we're propelled to do or to buy, okay? Not talking about, birthdays, anniversaries, those types of things as well. So we have to have a understanding that there's nothing wrong with those, but it's a place for those, okay? We overcome this by using a principle. And this is what's going to give you this jump start to finance your business, your idea, your calling. You're going to use cash, asset, cash. You're going to take a small amount of cash, and then you're going to create an asset that's going to help you create more cash so that your current lifestyle and your future lifestyle is well taken care of, okay? Because your job may not be able to do both, okay? So what do? Right? You get financial education to understand how to get your cash asset, cash principle in place. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to show you right quick the differences in being your number one asset. Okay. Now, what we're going to look is, remember what we were saying when you are going through financial education, and we were talking about getting your a jump start from Uncle Sam to get to where you want to be. Okay. This jump start is also going to give you a comparison of investments as well, okay? Because I want to show you some different things, because people have been having trouble with money that is invested in the different things. A lot of people have been saying, they're losing money with the 401ks, the TSPs, and those type of things, and they can't simply begin to think about how to start this business, this idea, or this calling that they have going on, because the money that they have coming in has already been zapped. And so that's what I was showing you before. We're going to help you overcome those 4 obstacles so that you can now obtain this jump start from Uncle Sam. Okay, so let's look at this. What we're going to see here on the left, you have bills that you already have right now. mortgage, utilities, cell phone, mileage, meals and entertainment, internet, right? You're already paying these things right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what Myecon helped me to do was to turn my bills into cash flow by using a simple strategy, which is your home-based business tax deductions, okay? But let's just go dive into that. Okay. So let's imagine you have $1,000 mortgage, $500 in utilities, $100 in cell phone, $10,000 a year in mileage, about $200 in meals and entertainment, $50 in internet service. Okay. So we're going to look at this per month, then per year. And then the percentages in the middle, those are going to show you what the IRS, what Uncle Sam is going to allow you to get back. The cash flow is going to be shifted. You're going to have your income shifted. Now you were paying bills, right? Check one, check two, right? And outside, it kept going outside. Everything was going outside. Now you're going to have an opportunity to have some of this money come back to you. Doesn't that make sense? Okay, so let's look at it. By having a home-based business, you're allowed to write off or deduct 20% of that mortgage, okay? And these are just round numbers, round percentages, because I'm not a CPA, nor is that my job, okay? So I want to show you on a example, okay? So for the year, 20% of $1,200 for the month, $2,400 for the year, okay? That is money that's coming back to you, income shifting, right? What would you rather do? Would you rather this money keep going away? Okay, would you rather learn a couple of strategies to start getting your money? And this is just the beginning. You're going to start a snowball effect and starting your money to come back to you. Okay, so let's look at it. So utilities, 20%, $100. That's $1,200 for the year. Cell phone, right? You're working on that a lot, right? You're probably on it right now. So 85%, we're estimating, okay? $85, $1,020 for the year. $10,000 worth of business miles, right? And Uncle Sam says, hey, if that's the case, we allowed you to write off 56 cents, 57 cents. It depends on the year, right? But right now we're looking at an example of 56 cents. And that's $5,600 for the year. Okay. So now your meals and entertainment. Imagine just sitting down with, a significant other or a business partner or whomever, right? And now it used to be where that money was written out again, going out of your household. But now mention that your home-based business is what? Tracking your income and increasing your wealth. Your home-based business is tracking your income and increasing your wealth. Right? So now discuss that for a couple of seconds, maybe mention it here, okay? Now that meals and entertainment, 50% of those write off, $100, $1,200 a year, okay? Could be higher, right? You could be doing more of these, okay? So we're just using the basics, okay? Internet service, right? Now that used to be what? A bill. Now it's a business expense, okay? So now it's 100% of that, $50, $600, and that comes to $12,020, and just round that to $12,000 for this example. Okay, so now beforehand you had what? You had bills going out, and beforehand you would have had to pay on this $12,000. You would have had to pay taxes on it, but now because you're a home-based business owner, you're informed. You understand how to make your bills into business expenses, so you don't pay taxes on this 12,000, right? So therefore you save the taxes that you would have paid. So now you are in the positive $3,600, right? So now you have saved $3,600 immediately by becoming a home-based business owner. Now, what you're going to do is, because others, right, you're going to let them know, your circle. You're not going to let them continue being oppressed by this particular situation. You tell others, right? And you receive compensation for letting them know, right? So let's imagine that is just a couple $100 a month. So for the year, you've created an extra $2,400 for the year by just simply telling a couple people, hey, you don't have to be oppressed by the tax system, or you can actually have a jumpstart for your business, your idea, or your calling, okay? So now your total earned is $6,000 for the year. You've created, cash flowed an extra $6,000 for the year, okay? So now let's look at that. What would other people, What are the situations which you have to create $6,000 worth of cash flow? Let's compare the two, right? So let's look at it. If you had an extra $600,000 and it was getting 1%, then you could have a cash flow of $6,000, right? So if you have 600,000 invested somewhere, now you can have that 6,000. Or if you have an extra $200,000, right? It can produce for you a cash flow at 3% of $6,000 a month, okay? Or if you have an extra $100,000, right? And you can have that invested at 6%. And it could be throwing you off $6,000 a year as well in cash flow, okay? But if you don't, let me show you something that is even more almost miraculous, how you can create $6,000 worth of cash flow. Identical to somebody that has 600,000, identical to somebody that has 100,000 making 6%. How can I do that, Mike? Right? You can have your own business, right? You can be into business because it takes business to have business deductions. So your business can start. And what is your business? Tracking your wealth, increasing your income, and increasing your wealth, right? That's all you're doing, tracking and managing, getting financial education, learning how to jumpstart your business idea or calling, okay? And what that is that gives you a $69 a month tax write-off. Okay, so now your business is started, and now you have the way to create for you an extra $6,000 worth of cash flow, right? Or you can go and grab $600,000 and put it into somewhere worth 1%, or grab $100,000 and go and put that in a 6% interest, right? And now you can have $6,000 a year in cash flow. But I think that your number one asset should be you. Your business should be your number one asset, to where you're strategizing your way to wealth. How are you able? Now you're able to control. You have options and control, right? Because your job previously was stating to you, hey, you have to let us know when you want to take a break. You have to let us know when you want to take off for holiday. You have to let us know when when it's time for your a bathroom break or whatever, right? So now it's nothing wrong with jobs. I'm not saying that whatsoever. What I'm saying is that it shouldn't be your only option. Your number one option should be your economy. How to create an economy of your own, right? So that's what we're looking into. And what I want you to see is that if it was possible to get a return, that's not showing now. Let me go ahead and populate that there. So if you could, how long would you? Think about this, right? If you could, how long could you? If you were getting a return on your money, as in $70 per month, and you were getting a return of $500. Meaning every time you deposited $70 in the bank, they gave you immediately $500. Okay, so $70 a month goes in, and then the same month you get return of $500. Okay, how many months would you do this? Would you stop giving them $70 if every time you gave them 70, they were going to return to you 500? That's essentially what I'm telling you now, how to turn your home-based business, your already bills, into business expenses and create for yourself $500 a month in cash flow, okay, by having your own financial education. Now, let's go back, and I want to leave you with this, okay? And as always, I got my hard hat on. It's a little twisted today. Okay. So the biggest thing is what do you do with your goals? Okay. How do you shape them? Okay. The best thing I've ever heard from my mentor was that we use a framework. So that what you do, just like think about it like this: when you were riding your bike, when you first started riding your bike, right? You had the training wheels on it, right? The training wheels were your system, where you were, or your framework, to where you were learning how to ride. So you could depend on the training wheels to be there as you learned, right? You were earning while you learned, okay? So that was your system, that was your framework. It allowed you to take the mindset off the fear that was there because you couldn't fall. So now your framework is wrapped within, the financial strategies, right? How to do, and what is that strategies? We start with cash flow management, then we go to business income, and then investment income, so that you know the context of where you're starting and where you're ending, right? And in between that, you have the financial education to do whatever you desire. What is that end goal that you want? What is that, right? You can use a system, a framework, to let you be unafraid to go and be creative in your venture, because you have a framework that is your foundation. And that framework is dependent and leaning upon cash flow management, business income, and investment income, so that you can have and achieve your current lifestyle and your future lifestyle at the same time, right? So you got to get to where you are implementing strategies. The strategy will give you the jump start. Uncle Sam would then say, hey, you are now informed about what to do, how to do what you need to do. And so therefore, we're going to let you use your money now and then pay us taxes on what's remaining. But you're going to take what you have as bills, and those are going to be your business expenses. Okay, so now you can safely increase your cash flow and your income. Right? What does it take to increase your cash flow by $6,000 a year? Right? Is it a second job? Right? What is that? Is it a degree? Right? But what if you could learn by just simply implementing a few minutes a day and understand how to create your own economy, so that you no longer are dependent upon what's outside of you? Okay, so I'll leave you with that, guys. And always remember to use your strategies versus sales, okay? Because sales have their place, but when you implement your strategies, you have a firm floor, and you understand how to implement the sales if need be. But you don't need the sales to start your cash flow journey, okay? So start with your strategies and learn how to do these different things, that your strategies can be in place. All right, guys. So you guys have a good one. And if you need anything, feel free to drop by, drop a message, whatever you like to do. That's totally fine. You can DM. You can also drop by at www.purposepursuer.com, and you can see more about what we do, right? If you want to see a full presentation on income shifting, then it's simply just do www.incomeshifting.com. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what's the best thing that you saw, so that you can get yourself income shifted, right? Why do those other money that you already have to do the things that you really want to do, right? So guys, I'll talk to you soon, and continue. Let's income shift. Peace.